But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Which is the first commandment of all?
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might, and with all thy strength. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Master, thou hast said the truth. There is one God, and none other but He. And to love Him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself, is more than all the whole burnt offerings and sacrifices.
Thou art not far from the kingdom of God.
And we're live, we're live. Good to see you guys, good to see you guys. I might finally get this bloody stream done. Oh wow, there was 5 here, now there's 2. How did that happen? How did that happen? It started off slow yesterday as well. I mean, last night there was hey Wyatt, good to see you. Jim, good to see you. Baza, good to see you. And Roger was in earlier. Obviously, he must have thought I was on at 12. I changed it to 1 though. Can't remember for what reason. It was now earlier anyway. But yeah, Roger was here earlier. Good to see you, Matthew Eastman. Good to see you. I'm glad you hear me because yesterday was a pain in the butt. I knew that things were working anyway because we did a stream last night, and last night's stream was all good. That was all good. Is there anybody in the Rumble side? No, just me at the minute. But yeah, that's good. In last night's stream, hey Alan, good to see you. Good to see you. Always a pleasure, guys. Always a pleasure. Wait for before we get on. We've got the full debate of Billy Carson versus Wyatt Huff. Wyatt Huff. I haven't watched it yet. I've been trying to do this since Saturday. I was kind of one of the first people on the block to let's do the Carson one when I heard about it. I was going to just go on I wasn't going to do the full debate because I didn't have it. It was just a little bit of the debate and someone reacting to his attitude towards it, like getting beaten and not wanting to post it. But now apparently he's trying to sue. But we've got the full debate. It's a re-upload from a Shane Williams, I think it is. I hope I put him in the credit. I did actually put him in there. Yeah, I have, but right. His art is turned into a grayscale. I'll have to change it so it's a link in the description. I don't know why that changed. Hey, boy, good to see you. I'd be late. But yeah, boy, yesterday, I don't know if you knew, it was StreamYard default. After me trying for 2.5 hours to sort the stream out and all that stuff, I ended up going live on YouTube itself just for 20 minutes. I had after 2.5 hours of me trying, StreamYard finally put up a little banner over their home screen saying that there's audio problems, their investigators are on it. So yeah, it was StreamYard, bro. There was nothing to do with me. All my settings were fine. Well, we knew that, didn't we? Because you guys came in and you could hear me. My intros was playing, but nothing else was playing. We weren't playing to the YouTube side, but we could hear each other. Whatever we shared in here, we could hear, but the YouTube side couldn't hear it. Pain in the butt. But yeah, so we've got the full debate of Billy Carson v. Wes Huff. I like to say I haven't seen it, and I've literally kept myself from watching it so I could watch it with you guys and review it. But first of all, see if we get up to about 10. We'll put on a few of Jim's observations again, Jim's videos, and then we'll get on with the topic. I've still got music to download and that for later, but yeah, we can still get on with it. I don't know if we'll get it all done today. It's an hour and a half. Give it a go. But if not, we can make 2 streams out of it. You know, do half now, half tomorrow. You know, whatever. But yeah, let's do it. Let's share some of Jim's observations. Or shared the wrong one. Nice, Paige. Nice. Oh, it's moving because it's moving. It's moving because it's moving. It's moving because it's moving. Go on the Delta. It's moving because it's moving. That's the first one. Nice one. It's moving because it's moving. Like you, Eki. We're moving because we're moving. And I didn't realize until yesterday, because I've never gone live directly from YouTube, that when you're in YouTube, you can actually share stuff with your audience, videos and tabs and stuff like that. I didn't know you could do that. The only problem is you just can't have participants in, but you can actually still share stuff. I realized that it's kind of choppy if you do it straight from the YouTube side. It's kind of choppy. You know? Oh, and boy, I sorted that recording thing out. It must have just automatically put it up as a default when they brought that feature out, because I never used to have that on. So maybe that'll help a lot when it comes to the signal going and that. But yeah, the individual recording for participants is off. So when you come in, you won't have that option anymore. You know? So, all good so far. All good. And last night's stream went well. I've had 250 odd views on it already. That's crazy. Because the other one's only got like 150. But last night's has got like 250 on it so far. It's very, very good. Very good. Actually, let me just check it. I'm sure that's what it said earlier. At least we got our last night's all done as well. So it's quite a long one. Oh yeah, I've got to download Neil deGrasse Tyson for today from Jersey. That's right. Ha! Yeah, I'll be getting on that. Yeah, so sorry, about 226 views on last night's stream, which is very, very good. Very good. Let's get rid of that. Test the stream now. Video. Ding, ding, ding. Come on. Nice one. Yeah. Another one. Huh? What's going on? Man. Right, another one. Let me get rid of that. Oh, so good. Cool. Cool. Is there anybody else come in while I wasn't on the page? Just to say hello to Jim. I think I said hello to Jim anyway. No, and I was going. Bless you guys for being here anyway. Let's do another one, another couple of gems. Then we'll get on with the topic on. Let's do boobies, the 8008, which says boob. That's the Saturn one, and then we'll do this Mooney one. Saturn one. Love the wristwatches. Love the wristwatch. Oh, Vicky's here in the background, obviously. Hey, babe.
Hi.
Have you said hello to everybody in chat, baby?
Been in chat.
Why not?
Yeah.
That's out of order. Vicky's here in chat and said hello to you guys in chat. Ain't that bad?
Not in chat.
And that's exactly, you're meant to be there doing your moderating job because there's so many trolls in chat. I know. I'll give you some flowers, babe. Give you some flowers, baby, and you're missing them. Right, and we'll do this final one here. This is a nice looking one. The 2 minute, yeah. Let's do this one. It's a good looking one. Nice. Actually, while it's playing, let me get a remark. And actually, let's go bundle. So I'm just looking for songs for after the stream. For ending off the stream, obviously. Let's do, make sure I haven't done it before. I mean, I could go to his main page, but I'll just go to his clips page. Did he? I didn't notice. Well, what did he say?
DJ, what you got minus?
I don't know what discussion you're on about. Is it something that's on your page, AKB? What is it? Something on his page?
You made another video.
Okay. Oh yeah. Do you know? I haven't seen it yet, dude. I haven't seen this one yet. That's in my watch later list. It's still on my list to watch. I wondered what you were on about then. I haven't watched this one yet, dude. I haven't watched it. I will make sure I watch this one after the stream, and I'll let you know, man. Right. Okay. Oh, that's right. I remember you gave me it yesterday, and you said you were on. That's right. You were on Voice. That's right. Sorry, bro. I have not watched that, but I promise I'll watch that after this. I'll definitely watch that after this. Guys, I'll put the link in for it. That's my bad. I completely forgot to watch that. But I was having a lot of troubles yesterday, bro. I was having a lot of troubles. So it kind of was, there you go. He's put the link in, but I'll put it in as well. I was having a load of stressful things going on with StreamYard and that, so it kind of would have slipped my mind and stuff like that anyway. But I'll have a look. I will have a look, dude, and I'll let you know. Nice one, man. Oh, I'm still looking for clips. Right, come on. Nice one, Jim. Nice one, dude. No, I was just looking at Harry Mark clip for later on. But yeah, I've already done that one. Sometimes I just don't know which ones I've done. From months ago to 6. 2 secs, guys. Just quickly try to get a link for something. That one, no. That one, no. Anyways. So I need a link for one I definitely know I haven't done. So I'm just going random. Move to tears. No, it sounds like a slow one. Okay. I'm gonna do this one. The one where the guy's playing keyboards for him, because they seem to go well as well also. So yeah. Right. Anyway, I've got that. My bad, guys. Right. I'm gonna get on with it.
You don't need to watch that.
What?
Captain K.
Okay, if Vicky's just watched it, she says there's a lot need to watch it. But I will be watching it. I will be watching it. And thank you as well, Jim. Like, what is it? And is he talking sense? Yeah, he usually does.
Do you know people? They say him he's obsessed and that. With
Who's saying that to him? The guys from Waiting and things.
aye, but the things with him, how many times can you do it? I've looked at a lot of Captain Caveman pictures.
If you keep seeing them,
And
then
they
you've
are
got to keep.
not all the same.
No,
So
of
when
course
they
not.
say it and it's all the same, every single time you see something totally different.
Yeah, but even the ones are the same. It's just getting the message out there, and he's doing it in a different way. You know, perfect. Some people are like that, dude. Yeah, it seemed like I was the issue, not the material. Nah, dude, you're not an issue, that's for sure. If they think that, let them, dude. I like the work you do, bro. It gets the truth out there. And there's all different truths to get out there as well, you know? All different truths.
Like, I don't get. They're agreeing that the pictures are fake, and like the Earth pictures are fake and that.
Yep,
But then they're saying to him, well, what's the point?
I
The
know.
point is, he's showing you that you see different things in it. Do you know what I mean? Like when he's putting two halves together and stuff, and you see
Yeah.
like different images. So tell him to go suck a doorknob.
Yeah, exactly, Alan. Screw what people think. Good to see you, Dylan. Good to see you. Good to see you. And I see Miss Moppers has said hi to peoples. But yeah, definitely, I'll be having a look at that. I'll be having a look at that without a doubt. Bless you, man. Bless you. I think what you do is excellent, bro. Excellent. Right, let's get on with this. Let's see what's the best layout to have for this one, because they've kind of, it's a re-upload, but it's the full debate. Kind of stuck them right in the middle there. Would it make a difference? Screen size if I went there. Oh, wrong one. Blimey now, wrong one. Sorry, idiot. Does that make it smaller or the same? Slightly smaller. And there I'm just under it. So yeah, just best to go for this one. Best to go for this one. I think the picture is all that bit in the middle, and that black outlay is all there. So is always there, I think. So let's just take it from there and let it play. When I've got something to say, I will. But I will try and keep it down to a minimum as I can, because it's an hour and a half. But if I do talk too much and can't get it all done today, we'll do second part tomorrow. But it's an hour and a half long, maybe a little bit more. But let's get started. Sorry, babe.
I've shared it.
All right, thank you, baby. Vicky shared it. So nice one. Yeah, Alan says, I haven't survived since 2014 on YouTube by what people think. That's true, bro. That's true. That's true. Doorknob. It's just a knob. Well, even that avatar you've got in there, I could see Darth Vader. I could see Wookiees, and you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. All different stuff, man, I'm telling you.
Hey guys, I am Shane Winnings, and I am happy to host this re-airing live debate on my page. You know, this debate has been very difficult to find. There is an individual involved in the debate who does not want it to be publicized, who has a live scheduled for tomorrow, I believe, going to explain why this debate is fake or why it's rigged. I will let you watch for yourself and make your own determination. I am not going to interject myself in the debate. I'm just going to let you watch it. I'm not reacting to this. I am just hosting it for you to be able to watch. I will say this. One guy says things that are based on factual data and researchable documentation, even pulling books from the bookshelf, finding the page.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing to do. I mean, in a debate, I suppose you should have your material ready, but if it's there at hand and they're doing that thing, why not? Why not? Sounds good. But at least someone's using evidence or written evidence of some sort. I dare say that was the West guy. Can't see it being Carson, but let's see.
Finding the citation. Another guy says things he found off the internet.
And I didn't know before this, but for anyone who doesn't know, the guy Billy Carson is debating is a young theologian but Christian guy called Wes Huff. Apparently he's quite good. Well, we've heard how good he is, so let's carry on.
Or quotes forged documents. One guy.
I'm actually glad I downloaded this because I don't even know if this is still up from this guy, because it could be taken down because of what is going on with him. I don't know, but at least I've got this downloaded just in case it goes.
Has devoted his life to historical and biblical accuracy. The other guy is an influencer, appearing on very popular podcasts, making all kinds of unsupported claims that are debunked during this debate.
That'll be Carson, without a doubt, without a doubt.
And that same guy is selling $85 bottles of Starfire Gold liquid supplement that he created. I'm not going to comment on that.
Wow.
I will say this, please watch, draw your own conclusions. Again, one guy does not want this
Hey, it's Flat. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man.
to be seen, and is actually suing the other guy. So,
Can you believe that? He got beaten in a debate by Wes Huff. He didn't want them to put it up because it was kind of like damage control. Please don't put it up. I got my ass whooped and publicly, and I don't want it to be, sorry, privately, and I don't want it to be public. So if you put that up, I'm going to sue you. Puts it up. Try to sue him. Unbelievable. That is so dirty. Damage control to the max.
I think that should really tell you everything you need to know. And with that being said, let's get into it. Please, before we do, like this, share this everywhere. Again, this guy doesn't want this out. He's trying to hand out law.
I'll go get the link for this, see if it's still there. It's in my watch later. Hopefully it's still up in that, but I'll get the link so you guys have got it as well.
Lawsuit paperwork. He's trying. This
But if it's not still there, I've got it downloaded if anybody wants it.
would end his career, as it should. The claims that he makes on some of America's and the world's largest platforms, including the Sean Ryan podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, Patrick Bet-David. This guy is everywhere.
He has been in a load of them, a lot of stuff, and people listen to him. Don't know why.
Saying these things that will be debunked in this debate. So watch for yourself. Please comment, help us boost that algorithm, and share this video. Here we go.
So, Wes, now that we got you on,
Ooh, loud. Let me turn that down a little. Ooh.
Wesley Huff, historian, linguist, biblical scholar, PhD, and athlete wannabe. I like how you threw that in the bio right there. And Wesley, my man, I think it would be great to. I know you guys were both recently in Egypt. There's tons that I'm interested in. That how all these things show up in Egypt is baffling to me. But just going right to it, I had here, Billy, you talk about how Jesus was never crucified, which is interesting because my wife, who's a Muslim, they believe that as well. Their beliefs, from what I understand, from
You can see the guy who Carson's sitting with is obviously like I was the other night, I suppose, when I was moderating. you could see my bias. I was on flat outside, you know, and flats was there. I put in a few things in there, but I didn't get involved in the debate, so so to speak. It's just when there was a bit of conversation came up, and when I was correcting the dude on something. But you can see straight off where this guy biases straight away. I don't know if he helps him, if he chimes in, but this Wes, I dare say, he looks after his own, looks after himself.
From her they don't think that Jesus, as they believe is a prophet, God would have him killed. But I don't think they have any historical evidence, as far as I know, as to.
I mean, God would have him killed. No, God didn't have him killed. You know, it was a sacrifice. You know what I mean? Made by God. It's not having him killed. You know, it's a sacrifice. But it's not putting someone to slaughter. That's ridiculous. That's a horrible way of saying it. Oh, by the way, this is the link for it, guys. Hopefully it's still there. I'm going to quickly click on it, see if it is. Yeah, it's still there. It's still there. So, yeah, like and share it, guys. Sub to that channel as well, I suppose. Wow, sorry, playing on that side. I am subscribed. I was just checking. Shane Winnings, the guy is. I'm going to look out for some of his stuff. But cool. There's the link there, guys. Bless you. Let's just get on with it. Let's get on with it.
What or how or why they believe that. I'm curious for you guys both, and if you want to, I guess, go first, Billy, as to how you came about like the findings where it seems that Jesus was not crucified, or that's not accurate.
Sure. And in my videos, and if you listen to the podcast, the statement is according to the Sinai Bible. Okay, according to the Sinai Bible, Jesus wasn't crucified in that Bible. And that Bible predates the King James Version of the Bible.
Well, it doesn't matter if it predates the King James Version at all. I mean, the scripture predates King James, original scripture. If it says Jesus, it wasn't crucified, while the rest of them says it was, then it's heretical. It's heretical. Why would we need a savior if Jesus? I mean, we wouldn't have a savior if Jesus wasn't crucified. And if Jesus wasn't crucified, we're not saved. We're living under law. If Jesus wasn't crucified, we should be living under the law. There's no new covenant. That's silly. I don't understand how people sit here on that side.
And the text there actually is about 12 to 14,000 differences between the Sinai Bible and the King James Version of the Bible, which came much later.
I don't know much about these scriptures, but I do know if they're saying stuff like that, they're purely heretical. They're anti-Christian in origin, definitely. They're anti-Christ in origin, should I say.
You know, and then also one of the things that were interesting is that they discovered the book of Jesus' wife, which is at the Harvard Seminary, which, according to some scholars, that's a little controversial, but they claim that this is an accurate record that Jesus may have even been married, which then, you know, adds more, if that's true, it adds more to...
Why would Jesus need to be married? Why would Jesus be married? Why would he have need of such thing when he's God and he's going to be with the Father? He kept himself pure. If he was married, yes, fine. If he was having sex, it'd be under marriage. But he had a mission. He had a mission at that point. He had a discipleship. He didn't have the time for these kind of things. He knew what had to be done. Jesus was not married at all. You know, he didn't. He has no need of this. He's God.
The hypothesis that maybe he wasn't crucified.
Like in that movie, I mean, yeah, they said it in Da Vinci Code that he was married, didn't they? To Alderman Magdalene. Oh, there's loads of people who claim Jesus is gay.
I just personally believe that Jesus was an amazing human being. I don't think that he was the Son of God in the sense.
Yeah, it's absolutely Son of God, Son of Man. God, that's who he is. I don't care what you believe, he is.
That he's God
said Jesus was gay, though.
Only people that will fly the rainbow flag say Jesus is gay.
But that we're all gods, as he said, ye are gods, and that we're to do greater things in him.
No.
And I just personally believe that.
When he was saying, yeah, God, he was, wow. He was rebuking them. He was comparing them to when they used to claim that. Then when they were claiming that to Babylonian bloody idols and stuff like that, he wasn't telling them they are gods at all.
That the return of the Christ is the return of the Christ consciousness. When we can all achieve a certain level of knowledge, wisdom, passion, understanding, empathy, love that he came to this planet with, and we get that in our mind and our.
Hey, boy, good to see you, bro.
What is up, PJ? Interesting topic, dude. I thought, yeah, I like this.
This is what we were meant to be doing yesterday, bro, when it went wrong. I've been trying to do this since Saturday. That's what I'm saying. I was one of the, not the first person on it, but I had about it and I thought, right, doing a stream on that. And originally it wasn't the full debate. It was just a 20-odd minute thing talking about a part of the debate and how we didn't want it to be posted. But then someone left the link for me, full debate. I thought, right, we'll do the full lot. So I was not the first, but I was kind of early there and I wanted to get it done. But then the bloody, the stormy weather came, so the internet was unstable. And then what happened yesterday happened. So it's a pain in the butt. So everybody's done it, even though I wanted to do it fast.
No, well, I didn't see anybody do it, but
I've seen it's mainly bigger channels. I've seen channels 50,000, 200,000, not talking about it.
Yeah, I'm not in touch with those people, but
no, nor am I.
I'm in touch with you, and I tried to do the StreamYard yesterday, and it looked all right on my side, because on my side it actually gave the, how do you say this, the aura that the avatar has, right? The audio aura, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah.
And but it didn't do that on YouTube, and I was like, wow, that's weird.
See? It's mad, isn't it? But yeah, no, as soon as I was about to give up trying, after 2.5 hours of testing, doing it, and
it was all right. They fixed it, right?
Yeah, they never fixed it. They put a notice up telling on the homepage that they were having audio problems and recording problems. We've got our investigators on it. I'm like, I wish you'd told me this 2 hours ago.
I think it was just a 0-day attack, just another smart ass wanting to get into the hacker community. That's basically the game now, right?
I mean, censorship to the max, dude. Right, we'll carry on with it. But yeah, if you got anything to say, boy, just shout out, man. Shout out. Sorry?
Oh, I will.
I know. Hey, Jono, good to see you. I know Matthew's in, babe. I've already said hello to him. Good to see you, Matthew. Good to see you, Jono.
Conscious, and we can act on that those incredible emotions and that understanding, that the whole world is going to transform instantaneously. And I think at the second coming is the coming of the Christ consciousness to the planet.
No. I don't believe in this Christ consciousness. Christ is going to come physically to you. It's not about a Christ consciousness. I don't get this Christ consciousness. It's not scriptural. It's not. It's to me. It's heresy. A lot of people talk about it and think they're talking about Christ. I don't think they're talking about Christ.
I hear what you say, PJ, and I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, the Christ consciousness should not be denied for that.
Oh no! I mean,
because
I suppose there is a consciousness, but people see it as a force, as a religion,
or as an excuse or a fashion, and it will be abused like that. Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that the Christ consciousness is not a real thing.
No,
okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. And so it's also like if Christ will come in person, physically, then it's not unthinkable that Christ consciousness will be experienced in the world before he will visit us physically, right?
it kind of puts you in the mind of when you hear it, like
they both. I mean, they both can be true
mind,
at the
a
same.
hive mind. Yeah, yeah.
I want to say that both can be true at the same time, and
That,
not.
well, that's true. That
Right.
is true, because you like look, we have will, we have free will, we have choice, but we're also predestined, and people
Yeah.
don't understand that. Well, if you have your free will, how can you be predestined? Or the predestined, how can you have free will? Well, if God says it and it's in scripture, if it's his word, then that both has to be true. And you are predestined, yes, but you still have choices and will within that predestination, you know?
No,
I think it's
and
good
those,
hard to
and the two
understand.
of those, yeah, and the two of those can exist together perfectly fine. You know, they don't conflict each other. Although in the dualistic mind that we are being fed with, you know, in this world, but we know that it's not just dual. It's neither black or white. You know, it's always kind of gray or kind of colory. It's never black or white. And you know,
That's
even
right.
if it's white, you know, you got to keep it clean to keep it white.
Without blemish.
You know, it's like, I mean, there's so many levels to it. You know, it's
Of course, definitely. You're right. I mean, even if you just think of the color, I mean, if you think of the color black, I mean, it's not just one. It's not even a color; it's a tone. It's a shade. There's not just one black. There's so many different shades of black. I mean, you see that black paint that they have, the non-reflective. It's 99% absorbative or 95% absorbative, isn't it? It doesn't reflect back at all. Except the 5%, and that gives you the deepest black they've got. But there's different levels to it, you know.
Yeah, but like you said, because there's different levels to black. But when you see that kind of like black velvet, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like blacker than most blacks that you know, because it's got so much depth, right?
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Human being flying back to Earth to save people. That's just my personal understanding of how I perceived it over many, many years of.
Exactly, your perception, a human being flying back to Earth. No, that's your perception. Exactly. I'm glad he said that, but it's your perception that you're pushing on people.
Going through this information and going through all this text.
And Wes, I'm gonna let you respond to that. And again, I mean, this is everyone listening to the show. You know, I'm always like, challenge everything. Learn to critically think and continue to come to your conclusions. Even with Jesus, I'm not personally even waiting on that he has to come back to say, I already know I'm, like I said, that strength of God and consciousness is already, I can tap into that right now. So you don't have to wait for him to come back. For those that believe he does, to actually.
So that's a good comment there. It's flat. And it's just seeing it just then. You probably put it a little while ago. Okay, good thing I got a coffee. I can read chat now. Crucifixion not included, yet it's included. Interpreted incorrectly and correctly. Sinai Bible, huh? I get you, bro. I get you.
Oh, it's a good thing you get it, because you know it's
like exactly. I think that's his point, isn't it? It's a good one.
Actually have that like next level of what that's supposed to mean. But Wes, go ahead on for what Billy was talking about, I think with a book in the Harvard Museum, and I heard something about Jesus's wife, which that's, yeah.
You know what you had.
Yeah, well, first let me say, I think it's really cool to not just be in the room proverbially with you, Billy, but be able to interact with you, because I wish I could be there in person. Unfortunately, Toronto, Canada is a long way away from Florida. It's a little bit of a jaunt. But I really appreciate the fact that you seem to have investigated to a certain degree some of these facts. Do you mind if I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
That's it. It's what it seems like. Yeah, he has the set research these facts to a certain degree, but also put his own interpretation into things and his own beliefs into things, which a lot of us do, but some to a bigger degree.
When you say the Sinai Bible, what are you referring to specifically?
It's
I
the
keep thinking when he says it, the cyanide Bible, I keep hearing cyanide, like poison, you know, like it's poisonous. Which, yeah.
biblical text that was written. It made it into you can actually look it up on Amazon. It's a Bible called, I have a version at home. It's called the Sinai Bible, right, from Mount Sinai. I'm assuming that's the mountain that they're referencing there. But they put together their own version of the biblical text prior to the King James Version being put out.
Sure. So when you refer to the Sinai Bible, would you be referring to Codex Sinaiticus? Like the codex that comes. Okay. That's why I was trying to get some.
Well, at least Wes knows what he's talking about when it comes to this as well, which is a good thing.
Clarification, because so you can actually go and see Codex Sinaiticus is at the British Library, so you can go and see it. It's on display, and the British Library has actually digitized the entire manuscript. So I work with manuscripts in my linguistic work. I'm an expert on early Christian scribal culture, and particularly in Greek and Coptic manuscripts. I actually have a facsimile. So I have a photocopy that was done by the British Library of Codex Sinaiticus that I work with in my office. So I have it here. And the only reason I asked for clarification is because I want to make sure that what I'm addressing is actually what you mean.
Gotcha.
And not addressing something else. Because the Codex Sinaiticus in particular is just a Greek, it's a 4th century Greek manuscript. Mm-hmm. It comes from
4th century. I mean, that's a fair distance after Jesus went, you know, 400 years. I mean, well, 300 odd years. You know, that's a fair amount of time.
Approximately between 325 and 350 AD. And its text of the Gospels reads almost identical to the modern Greek text that we develop translations from. So my curiosity is just simply in kind of exploring when you say that it denies the crucifixion or that the crucifixion isn't there. I mean, I can go on right now, Codex Sinaiticus, and I can look up the end of, you know, say Matthew 27, where it has Jesus being crucified. Yeah. And that's in Codex Sinaiticus, or, you know, the John 19, or any of the other ones. So I think my confusion is that it doesn't read any differently. So actually, are you able to pull up a website with the viewers or listeners or whatever?
I'm looking for it right now to make.
PJ, can you please update me on what are they discussing? Like whether he's been hung from a tree or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's what in general they're discussing what the Sinaiticus Bible is saying, and because I think it does say in certain places as well that he was crucified on a tree, you know. So maybe
crucified on a tree now. Wow.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's what I was saying. I mean, maybe I misheard, but I have heard people saying he was crucified on a tree. So let's take it back a minute. Let's take it back a minute. Wow. So I don't know if that's what he said there, but it has been said crucified on that tree. I mean, I think that's actually. I can't remember where.
Because you have heard about this Mandela effect, right?
Of the tree and the cross.
Yeah, that was hung from a tree.
Yeah.
That was Judas. Judas was hanged from a tree, right? Judas was hanged.
Yeah, that's right. But
that's what they do to traitors, right?
Of course, that's right. It's the same as God's name being jealous. I mean, that's not God's name. Yes, because that would say that's his. I mean, people's names sometimes portray their character.
That's what traitors. Jealousy is trading is an act of jealousy. So
that's right. That's right, bro. That's right. Yeah, Baza would agree with you exactly, boy. I took it.
So it is a tree.
Yeah, it's not you're not hung on a tree. I mean, it's a product of what the wood is a product of the tree.
Aye.
So you wouldn't say it that way. You wouldn't say that he was hung on a tree. You'd maybe say he was hung on a cross made from a tree, but you wouldn't say
a wooden cross. No, you would say
a
a
wooden cross. Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't
you
be the
wouldn't say
tree
the
itself.
No.
Yeah. And a lot of people think as well, I think it might be JW as well, that he was crucified on a stake. So
You
the
don't.
arms are
You don't
above
I
you.
mean, it's like no, but it's like no. If that would be it, you don't say somebody got killed by lead or somebody.
No.
Yeah, that's just code for
Exactly.
he got shot.
Exactly.
So that's not no.
Exactly. I've took it back a minute to see what we were saying anyway, because I kind of missed that myself. So I was
Yeah, me
I think I was typing.
Yeah.
Text that we develop translations from. So my curiosity is just simply in kind of exploring when you say that it denies the crucifixion or that the crucifixion isn't there. I mean, I can go on right now, Codex Sinaiticus, and I can look up the end of, say, Matthew 27, where it has Jesus being crucified. Yeah. And that's in Codex Sinaiticus, or, the John 19, or any of the other ones. So I think my confusion is that it doesn't read any differently. So actually, are you able to pull up a website with the viewers or listeners or whatever
I'm
be able
looking
to
for
see
it
that?
right now to make sure I have the right the version that I'm looking at.
While he's pulling that up too, like I keep saying to all the people that aren't scientists traveling the world in linguistics.
I just seen that. Well, yeah, it's flat. So I think, but we're all flat earthers, even those who don't admit. Yep, by proxy, whether they believe in a globe or not, by proxy, they're flat earthers. They just don't know it.
I don't even know how to pronounce it the right way, like me.
Yeah, linguists.
What is cyanide? I keep thinking of cyanide, like the poison cyanide Bible. So is that like a version? So from my own knowledge that I know, when I really studied all this, what I thought was interesting about the Bible was how many different eyewitness. I studied C.S. Lewis back in the day, how many different eyewitnesses and stuff there were. And they went on purpose to mention so many other names that they were able to cross-reference throughout history and throughout those times, from my understanding. And those were different things that I always thought were kind of interesting that I felt was a good concept of proof.
Sense, dude. I mean, all those words in a row. That's not a sentence. Okay.
No.
I don't know how these people do it.
Sometimes they do that. It's word salad. Sometimes it's just a mixture of words. It sounds like something, but you go back at it and analyze it. Actually, every word probably contradicts each other, or they cancel each other.
No, it doesn't. It's not a sentence. It's not. He's not trying to get to a point. He's not trying to make a point. He's just
stringing words together.
But he's doing it very. He has a talent to do so. I mean, people will be. When he finds a point, where he can dwindle it down to, and he would be glad to, because he's searching, but this man can search very loud, and it sounds like he's actually talking about something, and he's not.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. It's wizardry. It's like spells,
some people have talent for it, and he has.
Definitely.
And he's saying nothing. He's just going nowhere. So I'm always curious to hear where it ends.
See, you're right about the sorry, going back to the hanging from a tree thing, the crucifying from a tree thing. So yeah, apparently Acts 5:30 says it. Acts 10:39 and 13:29. 10:39. No, Peter. Sorry, 5:30. Peter declares that the Sanhedrin cursed Jesus by hanging him from a tree. It's not right, man. Acts 10:39 is Acts refers to Jesus' crucifixion as hanging on a tree, and then 13:29 is the same again, hanging on a tree.
Yes, sir.
Mark, Luke, John, to include other passages that relate to Jesus' crucifixion. Yeah, that's just crucifixion. Yeah, it's the phrase hanging on a tree alludes to Deuteronomy 21:22-23, which prohibits displaying an Israelite convicted of a capital crime. Some scholars interpret the phrase as a dead metaphor. However, others argue that the phrase conveys more than just the act of execution. It can be used to characterize the manner of Jesus' execution and the opponent's judgment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Well, that's
Yeah,
I've heard
I do.
of such an explanation, but yeah, okay.
But I don't think it was said that many times in scripture. I
Oh.
certainly remember 3, but not that many times. Not that many times.
No, I never heard. But I'm not a Bible thumper or how do you call this? I didn't study the Bible.
A theologian or anything. But you know what it says. You know basically what it says. Fundamentally what it says. And yes, we might have heard 3 before. But never to that extent. Never to that extent. Just like we know that it said that I'm a jealous God. Yes, it always said that, but it never said his name was jealous. It's to that kind of extent, you know. Anyway, back to it.
And then I want Billy to answer, and also, I'm just curious, like the Sinai Bible, where was that piece
I found
discovered?
the text where I was referencing. Actually, I was misquoted. I misquoted there. It's the Gospel of Barnabas.
Okay, yeah. Well, so that's good. So let's deal with that too, because I've actually worked with
Barnabas is an apocryphal, an extra canonical one, I think. Yeah.
there are 2 manuscripts of the Gospel of Barnabas.
We'll have to check
The
that
Gospel
one.
of Barnabas is a really interesting document because it is a known forgery. And so that's why I think it's important to get to these sources. So at the very start of the Gospel of Barnabas, which we only have 2 copies of, one is in Italian and one is in Spanish. We see right off the bat that the Gospel of Barnabas, not to be confused with either the Epistle of Barnabas or the Act.
Being Italian and Spanish is a bit sus in the first place, isn't it? I understand why. I mean, a lot of these extra canonical ones, like the one we did the other day, Testament of Solomon, there was lots of truth in it, but lots of like other cults, religions, traditions, and I suppose people's musings put in there as well. So yeah, that certainly happens.
Of Barnabas, which are 2 apocryphal documents from the 2nd.
I'll leave this playing. I'm just going to quickly go grab a coffee.
Century.
Mhm.
But the Gospel of Barnabas in particular, we know it's a forgery because it does things like in chapter 92, it says that Jesus spent 40 days on Mount Sinai and then he came to the Jordan River and he walked to Jerusalem. But Mount Sinai is more than a week's journey away from Jerusalem. And neither Mount Sinai nor Jerusalem are close to the Jordan River. So never mind there not being a route from the Jordan River to like around Mount Sinai or going to Jerusalem. But there are internal problems with the Gospel of Barnabas, which indicate that it shows no actual indication of evidence of coming from or even having knowledge of first century Jewish understanding. It actually says Jesus is the Christ, but not the Messiah, which indicates that whoever the author is, he didn't know that those were the same words. And I think a bigger problem is that the Gospel of Barnabas actually paraphrases Dante's Inferno, which was written in 1314. So there's a lot of internal evidences that disqualify the Gospel of Barnabas, never mind the fact that we don't have any evidence of it prior to the 14th century, and none in any other language other than Middle Age Italian Italian and Spanish. But the internal content of the Gospel of Barnabas disqualifies it from being ancient. And then the fact that it's doing things like paraphrasing Dante, or it also refers to a rule of the time of Jubilee, which was changed in the Middle Ages from what it was in the biblical year of Jubilee. And it goes with the Middle Ages concept, not the ancient concept. So I think what I'm getting at is, so I'm a historian.
Yep.
And I deal with sources. So when I'm looking at sources, I want to make sure that I have a methodology by which I approach any type of source. So if there is something that denies the crucifixion, I want to make sure that I'm analyzing it and that the methodology by which I analyze it actually reveals that the content can be accurately tied to the event. So if we're talking about, say, Codex Sinaiticus, that's in the 4th century. Now that is, I would agree with you, Billy, our oldest copy of the Bible in the sense of cover to cover, Genesis to Revelation copy of the Bible.
Right.
The problem is that we have individual copies of all 4 Gospels going back hundreds of years before Codex Sinaiticus. So I have a facsimile behind me of P66. This is a late 2nd century copy of the Gospel of John. I work with this particular manuscript. I can just show the screen right here. This is an almost complete copy of the Gospel of John. And it
Is that the
has the
papyro by
crucifixion.
any chance? Or is
Yeah,
that a
so
word that I just
papyrus
made
is
up?
just the what it's made out of. So
the material it's on.
I got that from Chat GPT, by the way.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
guys. I'm just
I
trying
can
to sound
actually-
smart for a second.
I have that papyrus at home.
Oh, that's
Yeah. Well, on
Yeah,
top.
so I'll show you this. So the documents you actually see on my bookshelf behind me are facsimile papyri that I've made. So when I was in Egypt last summer, I went and I made for me some papyrus sheets. And so I take these papyrus sheets, which are made from the papyrus plant. And then when I go and I look at actual manuscripts, so I was at the University of Philadelphia last summer, and I went and I saw a document called P1, which is a 3rd century fragment of the beginning of the Gospel of Matthew. And so what I did is I sat down with that original and I produced a facsimile. So I copied the text. First of all, I cut it out with an X-Acto knife in not the original 3rd century one on my papyrus. I cut out with an X-Acto knife this guy, and then I copied the text transcriptionally on the front and the back. So papyrus is just simply, it's what it's made out of.
Yeah.
And so there's categorizing systems, and the standard one is called the Gregory Alland categorizing system. And so,
Sorry about that. It took longer than I thought. I'm going to go back a couple of minutes because I missed a load of that, if you don't mind. Is there anything you want to say about what you heard, Roy? Because I missed it because the bloody coffee machine was making a noise. So I'll go back a couple of minutes. But if there's anything you want to say quickly. No, I'm good. I'll take it back 2 minutes at least. 2.5. There we go. All right. Yeah, I'll do.
understanding. It actually says Jesus is the Christ, but not the Messiah, which indicates that whoever the author is, he didn't know that those were the same words. And
well, God, Christ, Messiah, anointed one. Who else is going to be anointed?
I think a bigger problem is that the Gospel of Barnabas actually paraphrases Dante's Inferno, which was written in 1314. So there's a lot of internal evidences that disqualify the Gospel of Barnabas, never mind the fact that we don't have any evidence.
That's true, Dylan. Trying to sound smart is half the problem with the world. Without a doubt, bro. Without a doubt.
Evidence of it prior to the 14th century, and none in any other language other than Middle Age Italian Italian and Spanish. But the internal content of the Gospel of Barnabas disqualifies it from being ancient. And then the fact that it's doing things like paraphrasing Dante, or it also refers to a rule of the time of Jubilee, which was changed in the Middle Ages from what it was in the biblical year of Jubilee. And it goes with the Middle Ages concept, not the ancient concept. So I think what I'm getting at is, so I'm a historian,
Wow, dude.
and
These
I deal with sources.
Guys are all over the place, and they can actually tie it all together in like in a somewhat acceptable manner.
Of course.
You know, and they have you know, they've got all the right gimmicks and all the lighting and backgrounds and so the way they do it, it's very smart, and these guys are talented, but
but whether they've got the truth in them is a question.
Do they actually know what they're saying?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think
in
so.
some cases, no, I don't think they do.
They're just
Yes,
they're just talking. They're just talking.
Yes,
And
they get an idea in their head sometimes and just blather on about it. You know, they get the basic fundamental idea and then they just make up the crap within it for themselves, perceive it whatever they want to.
It's like listening to AI freestyling. You know,
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
So when I'm looking at sources, I want to make sure that I have a methodology by which I approach any type of source. So if there is something that denies the crucifixion, I want to make sure that I'm analyzing it and that the methodology by which I analyze it actually reveals that the content can be accurately tied to the...
Something is important of that. Of course, I understand where he's coming from. He wants to be sure. If he sees scripts, if he sees things supporting that, it goes against what his faith says, his belief in that says, then of course he's going to want to be as sure as possible, isn't he? So I agree with him. The method and how he does it. It's got to be pretty much foolproof. Well, not foolproof, but that's, I suppose, the way it should be.
Event. So if we're talking about, say, Codex Sinaiticus, that's in the 4th century. Now that is, I would agree with you, Billy, our oldest copy of the Bible in the sense of cover to cover, Genesis to Revelation copy of the Bible.
Right.
The problem is that we have individual copies of all 4 Gospels going back hundreds of years before Codex Sinaiticus.
Yeah.
So I have a facsimile behind me of P66. This is a late second.
Logically, yeah, the one closer to the time is more likely to be accurate. You know, even if the one the synaptic one, whatever it's called, was they thought they were telling the truth in it, it's being passed down a bit like Chinese whispers or broken telephones or whatever you want to call it, you know. Yeah.
When I think of this guy's mother, like what kind of like a total so-called devout Christian, American Christian, his mother is, like, dude, I don't even want to know, but but this is so, it all seems so, well, not scripted, but it's also
well, it's well rehearsed because they say it all the time. Maybe it's their answer every time. Maybe they're just used to saying it.
Yeah.
It just flows off the tongue. Like snake oil.
2nd century copy of the Gospel of John. I work with this particular manuscript. I can just show the screen right here. Okay. This is an almost complete copy of the Gospel of John. And it
is that the papyri by any chance?
Oh, an actual manuscript, man. It's handwritten.
Yeah, so papyrus is...
Papyrus, yeah, it is papyrus, isn't it? That's what he asked, wasn't it? Is that papyrus by any chance? Yeah, more than likely would be.
So convincing. It's so
convincing. What it's made out of. So
material it's on.
I got that from Chat GPT, by the way. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to sound smart for a second.
I have that papyrus at home.
Oh, that's
so I'll show you this. So the documents you actually see on my bookshelf behind me are facsimile papyri that I've made. So when I was in Egypt last summer, I went and I got made for me some papyrus sheets. And so I take these papyrus sheets, which are made from the papyrus.
Getting stranger by the second.
the guy did say at the start that that they'll be using the books and all that in the background. It's there, but he's actually got papyrus there. Mad.
Wow.
Let's see what they started debating about. Because apparently when they get into the debate, I mean, Billy Carson has got nowhere to run. Is that Mandela? Is that Mandela? It's got in the background. It is. It's Nelson Mandela. It looks like it's up on the wall, isn't it? Behind Billy Carson.
Yeah, no, he's gonna talk. He's gonna talk even. Yeah. Hey, but I'm gonna step away from the mic for a couple of minutes. So.
All right, bro. No problem.
And then when I go and I look at actual manuscripts, so I was at the University of Philadelphia last summer, and I went and I saw a document called P1, which is a 3rd century fragment of the beginning of the Gospel of Matthew. And so what I did is I sat down with that original.
P1 is a bunch of hood rat kids in Coventry that are called a gang called P1, isn't it? Is it P1, man?
Yeah.
There's a gang in Coventry called P1.
And I produced a facsimile. So I copied the text. First of all, I cut it out with an X-Acto knife in not the original 3rd century one on my papyrus. I cut out with an X-Acto knife this guy, and then I
Get John up. Everything's backwards.
Be upside down, John.
Upside down and backwards would have been cool, dude. Dylan could do that probably. No, sorry. Dave, Matt and can't fix stupid. But Dylan would be able to paint it upside down and back to front and round the corner, and in 7 different dimensions.
Dylan painted BJ's.
Yeah, Dylan's wicked, brilliant paintings, man. We still need to choose one.
Amazing.
But definitely, I'm dying to get a picture. And once I get a screen put up behind me, Dylan, I'll be hanging it up on the screen behind me so it can be seen. You know what I mean? Can't wait.
You need to pick one.
I know I'll have to pick one.
copied the text.
We need to have a look at them. We need to get Dylan together to get some pictures together so we can have a look at them.
Just go on his face.
I know he's got plenty there, but I think he might have a main selection that he wants us to choose from that he thinks specially. I don't know, babe.
You've done this whichever one.
I know, but you know,
You'll still love it.
absolutely.
Descriptionally on the front and the back. So papyrus is just simply, it's what it's made out of.
Yeah.
And so there's categorizing systems, and the standard one is called the Gregory Alland categorizing system. And so sometimes you'll see when manuscripts are mentioned, they'll have a GA and then a number behind it. If it's made of papyrus, you simply abbreviate the word papyrus to P, and then you have the numbering system.
Mhm.
So P66, what I showed you earlier, that's this on the categorizing system. It's the 66th manuscript that was put into the system. It's from the Gospel of John. I also have, P46 and P47 on my shelf.
Strange was it's a 66 manuscript to be put into the system. Bit dubious about them words.
Well, just to pick one that we connect with the most.
Yeah, man. So what do you suggest, Dylan? Just looking at your one, just looking on the ones on Facebook. Is that what you would say? And I'm also going to do Vicky's initials and art as well. See, I think we should wait for that as well, babe, so we can have a good look.
Does he know my full initials?
Well, tell him your full initials.
VLO.
VLO. It's like ELO, but with a V. It's like hello, but velo. No, ELO is Electrical Light Orchestra.
Or MMQB.
It was a group, wasn't it? It was a band. It was an orchestra. Electrical Light Orchestra. VLO. Yeah, that's it, Dylan.
Yeah.
That one. That's the one. That's the one. Bless you, man. But yeah, we'll just go and have a look in that on Facebook. We'll do that then. We'll get it sorted for after Christmas, innit? Like New Year time.
which includes all 4 Gospels and Acts from the 2nd and 3rd centuries. So the only hesitation I have with what you said, Billy, is that we have single copies of the Gospels that can be dated to the 2nd century that all do have the crucifixion. And so if we're relying on something like the Gospel of Barnabas,
if you've got to rely on one dubious writing, set of writings or writings of some sort, manuscript, whatever, to go against 4 that are very credulous, that say the opposite, that he was crucified, why are you then believing without doubt 100% than the minority, you know? Weird.
which is not just like,
Oh, dude, it's good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
it's not that there's debate about it, it's that it's a known forgery. I mean, no one's referring to the Gospel of Barnabas as anything other than...
If you say it's a known forgery, yes, but I'm going to go with that. Let's talk about the Old Testament a little bit and leading up into the New Testament.
Well, hold on, because do you mind if I address the Gospel of Jesus' wife?
Sure, go ahead.
What was her name?
Yeah.
I'm glad he said that. It would have been Mary Magdalene, I bet you.
I'm like trying to write notes like I know what I'm doing, but I'm just curious.
So the Gospel of Jesus' wife doesn't actually mention. So oftentimes what happens.
I will send you pictures, a lot of stuff on Facebook. Just so, okay, cool. Nice one. That'll be excellent, dude. That'll be excellent. Nice one for that, bro. Send them to Vicky because she'll probably remember more than me. Have you got him on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, I was just checking. Yeah, I was just checking. Yeah, I mean, you can send to me as well, but she's more likely to go on Facebook than I am.
PJ don't check his messages and emails, nothing.
I do check them, but probably annually or something.
Is that the text of the Gospel of Jesus' wife is kind of paralleled with the Gospel of Philip, which mentions that Mary Magdalene, that Jesus would kiss Mary Magdalene on the mouth. And so those are kind of used in parallel to kind of for this argument that Jesus was married. So the Gospel of Jesus' wife is in the Harvard Library. However,
if Jesus was married, the other Gospels would have mentioned it. They would have said, and Jesus' wife, you know. Why would she be forgotten? Especially to being crucified. Of course his wife would be bloody mentioned.
The reason we know it's also not legitimate is because even though the manuscript, the papyrus that it's on, was carbon dated to the 4th century, the text was actually copied from a PDF version of the Gospel of Thomas known as Grandin's Interlinear. And there was a mistake in the Coptic text of Grandin's Interlinear that was copied into the Gospel of Jesus' wife. So we know that this is not a legitimate document, even though the papyrus is ancient, and this happens a lot with forgeries. I have a couple of friends who have actually worked on projects that have revealed forgeries within Dead Sea Scroll manuscripts and within other ancient Christian papyri. But the reason why we know the Gospel of Jesus' wife, and that Karen King, who kind of vouched for it and she lost a lot of credibility, unfortunately, for her, and she's admitted that it's a fake as well, was because we can tie it directly to not copying from an ancient text, but actually copying from an online version of the Gospel of Thomas in a PDF form. And the mistake on that PDF form was copied into the text that was borrowed in the phraseology of Jesus' wife. So I just point that out is, once again, with our sourcing, I think we need to make sure that we're going towards not just early sources, but actually credible sources. And unfortunately, neither the Gospel of Barnabas nor the Gospel of Jesus' wife are credible sources in terms of actually, and agreed upon by not just the vast majority of scholarship, but I don't know anybody in the field of papyrology, paleography, historiography, who actually refers to these documents as being legitimate.
That's fair enough. I can respect that. So let's go into the Old Testament a little bit. Predominantly, from my research, I discovered that
He let him say stuff about Mary Magdalene. He brought it up earlier, and he says, yeah. And once he says his thing about it, Old Huff there, he says, fair enough, I can respect that. Let's go to the Old Testament. No refuting or whatever. Nice. That's one way of doing it. Wow, Mr. Carson, what you playing at? Oh, wow.
a lot of information from the Enuma Elish and the 7 Tablets of Creation is a lot of in Genesis, a lot of the creation story that comes into Genesis. Not all of it, but because obviously Genesis is a much smaller version of a much bigger story. But it's literally almost word for word from the Enuma Elish and the 7 Tablets of Creation. The Epic of Atra-Hasis as well is also there in the Old Testament. Several other tablets as well, Code upon Hammurabi and a few others have made it into that text. Sumerian cylinder scrolls that talk about the creation story. Again, the creation story in the Epic of Atra-Hasis. And so we tend to see this copying of ancient tablets, text, and scriptures, even some papyruses, into the biblical text, meaning that my point here is that I think a lot of people are saying that this information was written in real time. A lot of people believe that. If you ask the average person, they really believe that. But a lot of this information is just copied from older tablets and texts from an earlier date. That's what I have found, that it's made it into the canonized Bible, but they never reference that they got it from any other ancient texts and tablets that have to do with a totally different civilization with totally different religious beliefs.
Yeah, have you read the Enuma Elish?
Yeah, I've done lectures on it.
Sure. Do you mind summarizing the content of the creation account in the Enuma Elish for us?
Sure. The Enuma Elish is a very ancient text discovered in the Library of Ashurbanipal. And the summary of it is that it really gives us an account, which is crazy, an astronomical account of the creation of our solar system. It talks about planets and moons gaining specific orbits around the sun. It talks about a huge planet named Tiamat, 4 to 6 times larger than Earth. Earth didn't exist at the time that this, according to the author of this text, which is pretty interesting. And then there's talks about a nemesis of sorts. In the original version, it's called Nibiru, but in a more recent version, still thousands of years old, the name was changed to Marduk.
Exactly, on the updates. I read both what you said there. Because, there's no way Jesus was married and had kids. Look, if Jesus was married and had kids, don't you think his kids, his descendants would have been targets all the way down the line? You know, did he need that? And no. I mean, his disciples are going to be targets as is. No. Why would he have family and stuff like that here on earth when he's not going to be here? That'd be a silly thing to do. You know, Jesus is not silly. Jesus was not married. But yeah, I like what you said there, dude. The Guardians of the Grail by J.R. Church tells you about the evil bloodline that controls the world. They all believe they are descendants of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Tells you all you need to know. Exactly, bro. Lies. And then you said, these people actually believe this. It's not that one. The one before. The book is out of print, but used copies are cheap and easy to find. The bloodline is crazy. Billy Carson loves spreading these lies. Exactly, bro. Exactly, bro. Exactly, bro. Well said on the updates. Well said, bro. Well said. And then you said, these people actually believe this. The book is total expose. Aye, absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Marduk is in the Jewish American Library, in the biblical text, in the Torah, and so forth. Very popular figure in ancient times in the religious books and text. Marduk wanted to be the destroyer, so Marduk is the one that during its next orbit towards Tiamat, crashed into Tiamat and destroyed Tiamat. A huge chunk of it swung away, recoalesced, taking the water, land, and organic material, which basically recoalesced as our planet here, Earth, and the rest of it broke.
Oh, come on. What is that your cosmology? What? You got something crashed into some land and skipped the earth, and that skipped this land and took the seeds and plants and all that with you and made earth. What? What the hell is this crap? Wow, this is pure fantasy.
Broke up into pieces. Some of it turned into the asteroid belt. Other parts of it were thrown towards the...
Return to the asteroid belt. Return to it. Well, the type of what do you call it? Entropy they have in their type of physics is mental, man. I don't know where their entropy comes from. It's doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Sun, and some were thrown towards the inner Oort cloud, towards the outer edge of the solar system. This planet or this moonlet that orbited, supposedly a brown dwarf, basing on the description of it, gained a very strange orbit around our sun. And we have the scientific evidence now also to match with NASA's data, where we see that Saturn and I believe Neptune switch places.
I've gone down 2 subs since starting the stream today. Gone from 411 to 409.
Uranus is flipped on its side, and that's more evidence that something came through our solar system in ancient times and gravitationally really tugged at planets here and switched up their orbits and even pulled the axis of a planet on its own side, where the equator is now running north and south. So
And where did you get this information from? That it turned the planet on its axis, and now it's on its side spinning. Now they do say that there's a planet spinning on another axis, but we don't believe in planets as such. They're wandering stars, you know. So I mean, where's you getting this information? Wow, it's pure fantasy. What it all is out there anyway. Specularity, it's fantasy. It's not reality at all.
a little bit of modern astrophysics kind of backs up what this ancient text is saying. But the New Militia also then begins to talk about the fact that these beings, it kind of cuts into the fact that these beings, are on Earth.
Yeah, if you refresh your page, though, Jono, because it was 4:10 10 minutes ago. But if you refresh it, it'll probably say 4:09.
And at some point begin to engage mankind. In other words, they didn't create people from scratch, but they engaged the existing hominid.
Hey to the three people in Rumble, good to see you guys. Well, one of them would be me, so two other people, good to see you.
And began to utilize us as workers for their workforce. In the Atrahasis epic, you see a much similar story. Slightly later date period, but still thousands of years old, the epic of Atrahasis. And we see a very similar story. And we see where the sons of God literally came down to Earth. They came from Mars, according to this text.
Came from Mars. No, sons of God. The sons of God were the angels, watcher angels, who came to the daughters of men, who were daughters of men, self-explanatory, people on the earth, and mated with them, and henceforth Nephilim, and then whatever they did after that. But as for coming from Mars, see, that's another thing. It's made up, part truth with made up parts, manipulating truth to make it all lies. But because there's some truth there, people think, oh, okay, I remember that, I heard that. So they think, he's telling the truth, but it's twisted truth, which is lies.
You read the translation of the planet Mars and to English. And then they went to battle. They were going to go to battle in South Africa against Enki and Lil and Anu. And they
in South Africa. How do you know it was South Africa? What? Hey, Rethink Inc. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Greetings, gangsters. Hey, Joe. Good to see you as well, man. Good to see you. Bless you, dude. Bless you. Oh, wrong one. I just said Joe. I said hello, Joe. I just put his thing up my screen. I said hello, Joe.
I'm Wyatt.
White was in there. I said hello to him. But yeah, I think White was in there. Good to see you, Wyatt. Here's Ryan.
You're not the cookie
Here's the Cookie Monster. How you doing, brother? You good? Good to see you. Good to see you all. Right, let's carry on.
They come to terms without going to battle. They argued that they needed women, human women, believe it or not. And they also wanted a workforce. They didn't want to continue to do the labor. They were cleaning out the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, digging canals, building cities on Earth, and according to the text on Mars, not according to me. And a decision was made by Enki and Anu and Enlil to allow this experiment to happen, where they would take the existing hominid here. They would slay one of the gods, meaning that they would, in my opinion, that doesn't mean that they're going to kill it, but somehow, some type of genetic modification or manipulation, in my personal opinion, that's my personal hypothesis.
Even the genetic manipulation through the watchers and all that, but not the way he's going on about it,
But in the end, it ends up being that human beings.
Bloodline, certainly corrupted bloodline because of the hence the Noah's flood. What, babe?
Joe asked you a question.
Yes, I do know the channel. Do you know the channel? Fukit Word. He had a good live stream this morning. Yes, I do know it. Actually. I should be subscribed to Fukit Word. If I'm not, it's another one YouTube is unsubbed me from. But yes, I do know it. Bro.
Are now doing a lot of this labor and worshiping these people as gods, as they, my personal opinion, masqueraded as gods. A lot of stories there, parallel stories that you see in the Bible, even the Tower of Babel incident.
Yes, I would agree with that. They would have masqueraded as gods, called themselves gods. See, part truth with manipulations makes lies.
Many other crazy stories that are in the Bible. You can find a lot of those true stories in the ancient texts, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, where you can find the true story of Noah. They found the Noah tablet to give him instructions on how to build the ark. It wasn't a big boat. It was a round disc that he built with sections cut up on the inside like a pie. That was.
Well, hold on. It wasn't a boat. It wasn't a boat. It wasn't the dimensions in the build that God gave the specific dimensions for in Genesis. It was a round disc. How does that float? I mean, I know I've heard of displacement, but a round disc doesn't seem to cut it, I don't think. No. How? What? Where's this round disc coming from? Where's this? Wow. Never heard this before. That's crazy stuff.
Joe put a link in.
Okay, good. Thanks, Joe. Nice one, bro. Thank you.
Was discovered about 4 or 5 years ago. I believe it's at the British Museum now. So there's a lot of text that's just been covered and copied over into the biblical text. And I think that, in my personal opinion, a lot of people are just became a cargo cult, worshiping people that were.
Just a minute, Joe. I am not subscribed anymore. I'm not subscribed anymore. Unbelievable. I'll subscribe now. And see, they do this all the time. I keep thinking people are dropping out. They're not doing videos anymore. I'd like, I think every now and again, I think, what's happened to that person? It's because it's because we're getting unsubscribed. Out of order, man. Out of order. Nice one, dude. Nice one. Put a like on it before I watch it. Screwtube, exactly. Bless, bro. I am going to put, what do you call it? Flat Earth debunkers want truth. Nice. Nice. I'm going to put that in my watch later. Quickly. There's the thing. There it is. Save and watch later. Nice one, Joe. I'm glad you brought that up because now I'm subscribed again.
Masquerading as gods. I do believe in God, by the way. Let me make this clear. I believe in God. I believe there's a creator of the universe. I believe that the mathematics, the quantum physics all proves that. The fact that we're here. I believe there's this universe.
Oh, wow. YouTube, their tube, tribe tube, poo tube, unsubbed. Subtube, unsubtube. Nice one. Nice one. Thank you for subbing to him. Nice one, man. F Joe or whoever it was you subbed to. Or the other dude. Bookit.
Versus imbued with a divine energy and a divine spark that lives inside of all of us. I just don't believe that the God of the Bible is truly the creator of the universe. I don't think that God needs money. I don't think that God needs.
Sure. Do you mind if I just jump in here for a second? Because I think we've kind of gone on from the original question. I appreciate that. I do have a few issues with your summary, although.
And why the God of the Bible is not God, but there is only one God. I mean, why would you have that idea? I mean, mix your beliefs with part biblical and part non-biblical. Why would you have a story about Jesus at all if he didn't get crucified? I mean, we wouldn't need if he wasn't crucified, then we'd be under law. You know, there wouldn't be a new covenant. We'd be under law. We're all doomed, basically. Then we're under law. We're all doomed. Dorian was in there. He's been there. Dorian, good to see you. Good to see you, bro. I thought you were here earlier. Good to see you, Dorian. Anyway,
I think I have read the Akkadian version. My Akkadian's not great, but I sat down with a seriologist friend and we walked through it a couple of years ago. So I think that there are components of what you said that I would say are in there. I'm not sure it's the best summary. Nonetheless, okay, going with what you said that there were like verbatim parallels with the biblical creation story. Even just going off of what you said, which I think there are components of that I would agree with, you know, the battle of the gods, the concept of Enki and the younger gods, and they fight Tiamat, and then Marduk, who swears he'll defeat Tiamat, and Kunku, who kills Tiamat by shooting her with an arrow, and there's this big battle, and then the gods that die end up being the earth and the sky and even us, because we are the end result of that battle. I'm just curious, when you say that there are not just parallels, but there's actual copying, looking at Genesis chapter 1 and 2, where the creation story is summarized in the Bible, what are the actual kind of parallels there that you're looking to? Because as someone who's read both, I not only do I not find parallels, I actually, and this is the majority of ancient Near Eastern scholarship with me, think that Genesis chapter 1 is actually an apologetic against documents like the Enuma Elish. So what are the parallels there?
Separated the waters from the waters, for example. That's in the Enuma Elish, and that's also in the biblical text.
Okay. That I would agree is a parallel. The only reason I highlight that is that if you're making this the argument, because if you brought it up, and I mean this with all due respect,
Yes, Dylan, the news, let's do that. And others. The bend scriptures to fit scientism, cultist view. Yeah, and other types of views. But yes, absolutely, bro.
There are superficial parallels, I would agree, the separation of the water, the concept of the earth being formless and void, that's also in the Enuma Elish. However, I think all the other details, it's the details that make the difference. And if we're looking at not the superficial crossovers, but the actual themes and concepts of what it's saying, you don't have a creation within 7 days.
The Bible's not going to take the Enuma Elish and put it into the biblical text. There are certain words that they utilize that let me know that they copied it from that text. Like, for example, separating the water from the waters, the void, the earth being void. That information is literally just copied over. So it tells you that somebody saw that and said, let me add it to this book right here, or let me add it to the scripture or this papyrus, because it wasn't a book yet at that time.
So was this text discovered that makes it parallel to Genesis? Was this like supposedly discovered prior to? I'm just curious.
It wasn't discovered prior to the Bible, but it dates back long before the Bible was ever written.
Yeah, so let me just say this. So the reason why I say it's actually an apologetic,
long before the Bible was ever written. The Bible was written in stages. There weren't. I mean, it was 66 books in the Bible, more at one point. But it was written in stages. Over a period of 1,500 years, it was written. Hold on, 1,500 years, would that be right? Or is it 4,500? I'm thinking. Let me think. I'm trying to remember my exams when I was in rehab in that place I was in now. Over a period of 1,500 years, I think, all in all. About 40 authors. Yeah, I'm trying to think I've got that right. Sorry. I'm going to have to think a bit more. Sorry, I'll carry on playing this. Sorry. I'm thinking I should be playing it while I'm thinking instead of just sitting there quiet.
Against that is because the purpose of the Enuma Elish, which the Babylonians read every Babylonian New Year, was to point out the fact that the deities, and there's countless deities in the Babylonian pantheon, they actually come from the created order. So they're not outside of time and space. They actually come from the created order. And when they...
I thought so. Yeah, 1,500 years. I don't know. It took 40 men over a period of 1,500 years, and then on 3 continents. So yeah, definitely over a period of 1,500 years. I did think I had that right, but sometimes you're unsure when you say it. Sometimes,
in this battle, right, when Tiamat is defeated, the defeated gods become the earth and the sky and the plants and even you and me. And in that sense, well,
that's true as well. So I'm just going by official but what they say, officially. But yeah, it's so silly to think we could actually know when these things were written. I trust in the Holy Spirit to guide me to truth. Yes, that's what we've got to do. Definitely trust in the Holy Spirit. Absolutely. And yes, we can kind of have a brief guide of when it was written and stuff like that. But truly, as long as the Holy Spirit's guiding you, does it really matter?
Theme is that you don't actually have any purpose or end result, and you're not created in the image of God. In fact, in the ancient Babylonian system,
Definitely important to pursue truth. Absolutely, bro.
Only the kings were created in the image of God. And what we see that is counter to that is that even, sure, there's superficial, divided the waters, but we find that in almost every society and culture. That's not a parallel as much as it's just a generality. I would say what we see within the biblical account is that God purposefully creates. There's only one God. He purposefully creates, and then he creates, and it's good. And it continues to say it's good 7 times. And
he does say it 7 times, and it was good, and it was good. Creates, says what he created, then says, looked at it, and it was good. Absolutely. God says it was good, and it's good.
And the end of chapter 1, just for the thick people in the original audience, it says, and then it was very good. And then he creates humanity, not kings, but simply the humans that he creates in God's image. And they have purpose and meaning, and that instills them with
in his image, and that's it. We're created ones. A lot of people, a lot of pastors like Cliff Ladola, T.D. Jakes will say, because we're born in his image, that makes us small g gods. In his image is a likeness, not his essence. You know what I mean? Not his power and almighty. In his likeness. That's it. And we're still created. You can't be a god except a false god, which is not a god.
This creation order. And that's not what we find in the Enuma Elish. In fact, we find the opposite in the Enuma Elish, is that the created order is not good. It's a mistake. And that you are not created in the image of God. And there's a reminder that regular people are not created in the image of God. So linguistically, Hebrew does have Semitic ties with Akkadian. Doesn't with Sumerian. Sumerian is a language isolate, a glutenizing language. But I would say, just with all due respect, the parallels linguistically are not there. There might be superficial kind of concepts that are there, but they're so superficial that we can find them in everything. In the sense of, I'm in my office studio, you're in your office studio. That doesn't mean that that we're the same people or we're even in the same place. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. I just see if I have all these texts out, there's a lot of different information that you can see. There's a lot of it's been copied word for word into the biblical text. But what's the word for word? In your version of what you believe in, you keep saying that God's a he.
Yeah.
And so where do you get that?
Well, scripturally, it says he, doesn't it? It's his nature. Well, if you can say nature, because he created nature, but his essence. He described himself as he. It's he. He's your father. What is a father? Male. It's he. He hasn't got gender as such, but his nature is he, him. And it's not a pronoun, as in the way they go on about pronouns. Because it is a pronoun, obviously. But you know what I mean? The way the woke people go on about it.
Throughout both the
Joe King, good to see you, bro. Thanks for turning up, man.
Hebrew Old Testament and the Greek New Testament, you have the masculine singular pronoun used for God.
And why is God a man? Where's the evidence of this?
Well, God isn't a man. See, within historical Christianity, we don't believe that God has a gender. However, the way that he has decided to reveal himself is through the masculine plural, and then ultimately by becoming a human in the person of Jesus Christ. So we don't believe that God has a gender.
Exactly. Spirit. He doesn't have a gender. She has a gender. It means he can procreate. He doesn't. Father doesn't need sex or anything like that. He doesn't have a gender. He's like he says. He presents himself as masculine. And when Jesus came to earth, He's male. So there you go.
Father.
The father exactly presents himself as a masculine figure. So it's simple as that. God says it.
In fact, the fact that God creates humanity in his image and he creates them male and female, those are two aspects of the image of God. And so that's the completeness. So historical Christianity has never argued that God is gendered. Jesus is gendered in the sense that during the incarnation, he becomes a human man, but he's still fully man and fully God. But God is spirit. And right, as the scripture says, we worship him in spirit and in truth.
And God is
but nobody's arguing that. What's that? Sorry?
God
That always blows my mind.
God
too.
is the same all the time, right? He's always good. It's always God is all the same all the time, right?
But we do see that though in Scripture, God has revealed Himself through the masculine plural, and there are aspects of God's character that we see within Scripture that do actually communicate. You know, Jesus says that He longs to gather Israel like a mother hen collects her chicks. So we see aspects of, you know, the feminine of God, not meaning that God is feminine, but that the image of God reflects both the masculine and the feminine. And that's why when
it's just like it's like being from a parental role, you know, like he's our father, so he's our adopted parent as such. So likening him to what a female would do as a mother, we are a chicks, and that's what he's doing with us. That's what the metaphor is. It doesn't make him female, you know. He presents himself as a masculine figure. Simple as that. B movie was a mistake. Good to see you. You know, Islam can claim that Big Bang is part of their scripture. I don't know. Can they? I'm not sure. I don't read much about the Quran, to be honest. But can they? I'm not sure about that. Well, I definitely don't believe in the Big Bang. That's for sure. The big bonk, maybe, but not the Big Bang.
You know, the two become one flesh. There's a uniting of that reflects the image of God as well.
Do you believe that the majority of
That's very true. That's very true. Joe. The truth is that we were all born in a huge cult religion. Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. Heliocentrism was part of it.
the marriage.
Do you actually believe that the majority of Christians really believe that God is not masculine, that God is has both aspects? If you
I mean, it's irrelevant what the majority of Christians believe.
On the road, how many would tell you, you know, that God's not a man? They've never been taught this.
Well, I was taught it growing up. I was taught it in when I was a child, when I went to seminary.
Always been taught it. Always been taught it. And it's backed up by scripture.
When I went to Bible college, I was taught it in graduate school. I would say I would say a few things to that. I would say, in one sense, it's irrelevant what the majority of Christians believe, because what historical biblical Christianity articulates.
I do know. So it does describe that. I mean, I've got the Quran here, but I haven't gone into it. I've only got it just to check in case people say a certain scripture or whatever. I'll go check that. It's there. It's because I got it for free from Amazon Dude the other week. So yeah, I grabbed it. Why not?
Is what they should believe. You know, there are Christians who run around saying all sorts of things that are not in conformity to biblical, historical, Orthodox Christianity.
Oh,
and they shouldn't believe that because it's irrelevant. And so if one Christian believes something that is not in line with biblical Christianity, I mean, that's on them. So God is not gendered, but he does express through inspired scripture the masculine the masculine pronoun.
That's pretty convenient. I mean, for an all-knowing, all-loving God to understand that human beings are going to take that and abuse it to put their boot on the neck of women for eons. It's pretty interesting. Also, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, I mean, so hold on. Let me speak to that.
Can I put their boot in the neck of women? What? For eons?
Because
say something there real quick, guys. I have to.
Yeah, sure.
If it was only for the Old Testament, I would have a hard time following a lot of stuff. It, for me, like what you said, putting the boots on women and stuff, that it was when Jesus came that when they were literally like, oh, if a woman,
Oh, Derek, I didn't see you there. Didn't see you there, bro. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I just seen that you said something. What did you say? What did you say? Something about NASA. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? There, space. It's all right, space. I'll put it up on this side. Space isn't a feasible scenario. You don't need NASA to tell you they've been lying about a fake environment that only exists in imagination. That's true, bro. That's absolutely true. Someone else said something about space. Was it rethink? You don't know what space is, and neither does anyone else. We have reasoning and critical thinking to help us, but to state space is unknown isn't proper. I don't believe space exists as they portray it out there. I believe in what Scripture says. Simple as that. That's it. Simple. NASA is stupid. Absolutely, Dylan. Simple. NASA is just ridiculous. To claim what heliocentrists claim what space is, that's ridiculous. I won't claim it's anything except what Scripture says.
you can just accuse a female of having an affair and murder her, and that's like okay. That he was.
Say it again. Hold on, what?
Like he just reminds me of anyone that basically challenged everything. And
Vicky says NASA stands for never ask space assholes. But what F Dop says is interesting as well. Space is darkness, it's a void, a bottomless, foundationless darkness. I mean that I agree with that to a certain extent. I don't know it fully, but yeah, I do think there's an abyss of some sort, which could be it. I mean, let's say they divided the waters from the waters. I believe there's waters of some sort of that. But I like Joe's thoughts on and stuff like that. I think you're talking about the abyss as such, isn't it? Which it's Scripture certainly talks of, without a doubt, is what God calls darkness. Yeah, it's a very good thought, man. Absolutely. I appreciate your thoughts, my dude. Appreciate them. Respect them, man.
people would say that it.
Yeah, outer space is BS. Yeah, like I say, how it's portrayed is BS.
Didn't contradict what's in the Old Testament, but however people were interpreting it, they were believing that they were following the Bible to women can't do this, you stone them if they have an affair or if they're accused of having an affair. And Jesus, as we know, the famous scene when they were about to stone her, he's like, he who hasn't sinned cast the first stone, basically saying no one's perfect. And was the first one that I know of that started like speaking to other tribes and other countries that people weren't supposed to, like they were so racist and prejudiced. And this is where my heart opened up, is like he stood for this love and this God that broke down all these barriers and just flipped what all the scholars and everything was saying on its head. And that's where I found that I believe that he was crucified, because he went so far like against the grain at the time. And I get what you're saying too. Like there's stuff where it's like, oh, that's convenient, where human beings can add in that this is there and that's not. But something else that I always was curious, I'm like, if especially the New Testament, if it was like written by man and stuff and pre-planned, I'm like, I think
it was written by man. It is written by man. I mean, it's not written by the finger of God, is it? It is written by man, inspired by God. I mean, dude.
They would have done a better job of not making a lot of the people so like ignorant. The people that were like literally with Jesus questioning him half the time, like bro, I don't know if you can do this miracle. And Jesus is like, dude, you just saw me yesterday turn water into wine. And I'm like, if they really, if I was writing a story, I'm like, I want everyone to believe this, I would make the people not like is questionable. It's like they have so many characteristics where the humanity in it is what like always drew me. And like even one thing in the Old Testament that David and Goliath kills Goliath, a man after God's own heart. I'm like, if you're pre-writing this to be the perfect person after God's own heart, then he becomes king. You're gonna like have the story end perfectly, but then he goes off to see, he's watching this lady bathe nude, has an affair with her, has her husband killed. Mm-hmm. It's like, but then goes on to keep praying to God and coming back to God like with a humanity. And God's like, this is a man after my own heart. And it's like finding all these human flaws is, to me, showed so much of like the beautiful struggle that, and I'm not going off everything you guys are talking about, which is factual stuff. I'm just talking from my own experience of ways where I drew and continue to draw my own conclusions. And I'm much more.
Continue to draw your own conclusions, but you're going a big words salad grant about nothingness there, I think. I mean, the flaws of man and his beautifulness. I mean, what? I mean, it's almost like he was glorifying sin at one point.
More about my relationship with God personally, with Jesus and God, it's the same, over worshiping the religion, because so many people can, as we all know, that's wars are created, slaves are taken. There's so many horrible things that have been done in the name of religion. And it's sad. And that's where Jesus comes back into the game to me. I'm talking you guys to me, to where he was like.
I agree with you, Bazila, 100%. Amazes me how people can believe in space, but not God, just because it's so cartoon. I know, bro. I know. Kicks the ass out of my head. I'm telling you. It'll put you to sleep. I know, dude. I'm saying he's word salad about nothing there. He's just, I think he's trying to do a bit of filling. You know what I mean? I think Wes wants to get on it. What?
The one that was like gathering all these people of all these, like, what are you doing? Like, we're supposed to be here helping each other. This is about loving each other and coming together. Like, you're killing them because they eat meat on Tuesday and they don't eat bacon on Sunday, and you're literally like murdering each other. It's so messed up. So I get where people look at different organized religion and stuff, and they're like, this is horrible. Like, on behalf of Christians, I'm like, I'm fully apologetic for, what was it, the Crusades. It's like, in the name of Catholicism.
Why are you apologetic on behalf of Christians for the Crusades? I mean,
well, they never existed.
Yeah, but I mean, for a start, I don't think this guy seems like a Christian. And that's in it was Catholicism. It was in the Crusades, which was a horrible thing. Nothing to do with people from the followers of the way, because followers of the way wouldn't have been a part of that. That's man doing that. That's man-made religion doing that, not people, followers of the way. That's for sure.
Catholicism, there's so many horrible things that human beings have done. And I'm speaking as someone that I would call myself a Christian, and I'm just letting everyone know that I'm open, critical thinker, and how I've continued to find my own beliefs, because I never sat here ignorantly and was like, nope, throughout history, they've all been perfect. It's like, through the Crusades, they went through and committed genocide, rape, some of the most awful stuff, wearing these huge crosses. And I'm like, but God wasn't with them. They said he was, but that's why I also believe in the devil. And I don't believe he's this dude with a pitchfork and a red tail. I think it's
Well, of course
more
he's not.
comes, you know, and energy and thoughts and comes and people and is like, oh,
Again, people believe that because they see that in cartoons. A dude with a pitchfork and tail and in horns, you know? That's because they hear it in cartoons, see it in cartoons and stuff like that. And listen to people who don't read who Satan is in scripture. That's another thing that comes from cartoons and the like, from lies. Hey, Sandra, dude. Oh, is Luke here? Nice. Luke, hey, Luke, how you doing, man? How you doing? And after we're definitely gonna have to do a second part on this. It's 42 minutes in, so we're not even halfway. Nearly halfway. I'm going to try and get it to halfway, which is it's an hour and 34. So what's that? That's 60 and 17. So it's 77 minutes. So an hour and 17, and so that'd be yeah. I just said it. It's just going out my head what I said. What a numpty. Oh, wow. I just needed to know the minutes. What a numpty. Yeah, 2 secs. Go on then. I'm just there.
Hi, Matt.
Oh, Vicky says, hi, Matt.
Not Luke.
Luke says, Matt says, I think you would know what I would say about this woke sounding Leslie. I know, dude. I know, bro. I know. Definitely. I can't remember what I was saying.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to get to halfway, and then we'll do the other half tomorrow. We'll do the other half tomorrow, because we're 2 hours in, and we've still got the songs to do. We're not even halfway in, so I'm going to go get halfway in. Shut up, babe.
Told me the dog's not allowed up.
I will tell her, just chuck her off. Yeah, she's not getting up because she's shat on the floor. Took her out last night. She shit 3 times outside. Went to the toilet. So good girl and all that. We put pads down just in case she knows if she busts, she can go in there. She went to the other end of the room and shat on the carpet. A big dollopy sticky one. A little cowbag. She pissed me off, so she's not getting on the bed at all. Not today. She's a bad girl, ain't you? Because I said to her, just because you went 3 times in a winner, and I praised her for being a good girl. I says, just because you're a good girl 3 times doesn't give you the right to counteract it and be bad 3 times. That's not how it works. Anyway, let's carry on. Let's get on.
You're talking to a dog?
Yes, talking to a dog. Absolutely, bro. Vicky taught me how to do it.
talk to this guy or you know, you should start conquering that other country in the name of and do it in the name of God. And then, you know, that's the way I look at things. So anyway, go ahead. I had to just throw in.
Yeah. I mean, there's a really great resource written by a friend of mine, John Dixon. It's a book called Bullies and Saints, where he goes through a lot of the instances of we're obviously going to find abuses, and every human being is going to find a way to exploit whatever is presented to them. So in one sense, I think we can say, you know, isn't it convenient that God used the masculine plural pronoun, or sorry, the masculine pronoun. I keep saying plural, it's just a mistake. The masculine pronoun. And we can say, oh, sure, that's convenient, maybe, but it is how he has revealed himself to us. And it's not his fault if we abuse that. I mean, we could say, so I grew up in the Middle East. My parents worked in Amman, Jordan. And when I was living in the Middle East, there was a country called the Democratic Republic of Iraq. Now, just because democracy exists and people are going to name things democratic when they obviously aren't, doesn't mean we then judge democracy. I mean, think of the Democratic Republic of North Korea, right? Nobody thinks that that's an actual representation of democracy. So people are always going to abuse terms and ideas and concepts. The difference is, though, I think historically within Judeo-Christianity, you have this ethic that we were talking about before.
Oh, by the way, Luke, Matt. Shut up. It's Matt Luke. I can't get it out of my head. It's same as Flats. I call him Flats, even though his name's Keith. It might be, Dave, but I know it is, but still.
You're going to start calling me Miss Moppers Queen Bee.
Yeah, Miss Moppers. Aye. But I was introduced to you as Vicky, and I was introduced to Flatsoid as Flatsoid. That's why. So it's hard to get out of. It's the same as why I call Brenda sometimes she, because I was introduced to Brenda as she before I knew. I know. Luminate. It's just habitual.
It's a man.
It's a something. That's for sure. It's a something.
That I think is fundamentally different than what we find in things like the Enuma Elish, the Atrasis, and other things, in that we are.
Right. I didn't get to my point. Yes, Matt, it went well last night. I've got like 200 odd views on it already. I think it's the most I've had of all the series, and it started off slow. I mean, there was only like 6 people in chat for like 20 minutes. Eventually, it was about, I think it went up to about 20 odd, and then leveled off at 15. But for a while, there was less than 10 people in. But yeah, it's the one that's got most views. It's got like 200 odd views at the minute, and about 70 odd on Rumble, but 200 odd on YouTube. Yeah, so it went well. So we're all caught up. We're all caught up.
Created in the image of God. And actually, one of the earliest criticisms of Christianity are by individuals like Celsus, who is a Greco-Roman philosopher in the 2nd century, where he accused Christianity of being foolish, dishonorable, and stupid, and he called it the religion of slaves, women, and children. Why? Not because God used the masculine pronoun for himself and people were abusing that, because the concept that Christians believed in of everybody, no matter what your gender, your race, your social standing, Paul says in
yeah, super. Brenda. Absolutely. Dex says Elohim in Hebrew is.
Did you just say his name 3 times now? And now he's going to show up.
He'll show up. He'll show up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Elohim in Hebrew is plural, though. I think this Wes guy is having some accidental slips that still tell the truth. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I think as it goes on, he still whoops him. From what I heard. He's got a lot of better points, that's for sure. And, something's got to happen before Carson is suing him, Didn't want him to put it out. Damage control. Right, I'll get a couple more minutes in, 3 minutes in, then that's halfway. And we'll call it a day and do the second part tomorrow. In
Christ, there is no slave nor free, there is no Jew nor Gentile.
I'll play the 3 songs.
There is no Scythian or barbarian. There's no male nor female. These things united people. And we can see there's a historian named Rodney Stark. And in his book, The Rise of Christianity, he actually says that you can track empirically the agency of women across the ancient world by the movement of Christianity. So that, in other words, whenever an area became populated by Christians, we see a direct correlation with the privileges and treatments of women that expand in.
I just got my weak shows calendar. Will Duffy's on the front. Dude, that Will Duffy is getting more cocky by the day, bro. More cocky and arrogant by the day. That smug smack on his face is getting to the point where I want to slap it off. I shouldn't think like that.
In time when the surrounding culture largely didn't view women as being fully human. So I think we're always going to have abuses, but if there's one worldview that exists that gives agency to people and says that everybody has worth by nature of being just human, it's the Christian worldview. And that's where I think it's very different. So we can argue about why we think God should or shouldn't have revealed himself in his pronouns, but I think that's actually irrespective of the historical reality that we see within the impact of Christianity, particularly on the West, but around the world, and how it gives agency to the marginalized.
Wes.
Wow. How can Will Duffy said that flat earth is hiding the glory of God? It's revealing the glory of God's creation, at least,
It's acknowledging it.
Acknowledging it. Exactly, bro. Globe is is trying to hide it, because that's giving you something fictitious. It may look wonderful to people who believe in it, because there's a never-ending void out there with a void or with a load of something in it that they want to get to that they'll never will, because it's not real. And even if it was real, they could never get to, because it's so far away. Ridiculous. Go on.
But this is coming from a man that says the firmament must be the crust.
Yes.
Yes. Imagine where that sets him. Imagine where that sets him under the earth. That sets him. Well, we might conceive of that place as hell.
So when Jesus comes back, he'll be coming back from the crust, which is the firmament, which means he's ascending, not descending. So
this guy's got. That's so telling that he would bring that across, and that's actually such a big thing, but nobody was too bothered to mention it, and I think it's actually a bit weird that that Whitsitt didn't mention that, because that's such a discrepancy.
True.
How can you think of the crust? How can you think of the ground as the firmament? The ground is clearly the ground. That's not.
Absolutely. But that's halfway. So we'll be setting apart tomorrow. But yeah,
it's such a blasphemy to even to convey that idea. That the only way that you can convey the idea that I think that the firmament, that the Bible means the ground that we stand on. That's such a blasphemy.
Of course it is. That's terrible. It's really terrible. Try twist, manipulate. You know what I mean? It's making it into a molded mess. You know what I mean?
No, to everybody, to most of the people in Flat Earth, it was clear that he's a deceiver from the start, right?
Aye, without a doubt.
But everybody's keeping close watch because we all want to see where this goes, where this leads.
And it's one of his first interviews with Kingdom in Context, Sean. He lied straight up saying, "Oh well, I haven't researched flat Earth or heliocentrism." What? What are you doing here then? What are you talking about? And then he admitted that he lied about it. He says, "Oh, I was put on the spot, so I didn't know what to say." I was like, I didn't want to reveal. But still, then you say, "I don't want to answer that," because then you're lying intentionally. And as a pastor, you're not meant to intentionally lie. But Derek just said earlier that I don't think Will Duffy has even read the Bible from beginning to end. Oh, I'm talking to Joe, but he sounds like a moron when he tries to describe the firmament. Oh no, I couldn't lie straight in bed, bro. But yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. But yeah, we're halfway through that. We'll do the second part, get it finished tomorrow. Nice one for bearing with me, guys, because I've been trying to do it since Saturday, and then yesterday was a disaster, man. Disaster.
Oh, I could see the frustration on your face, even though I couldn't hear your voice.
I was like, yeah, come on, because I knew my settings were fine. I knew it was fine, But I was getting trouble with intermittent signal, well, since I stopped doing, because I never used to have that recording thing, where individual recordings that you told me about, boy. I never used to have that. So when they did that feature, when it first came on for me, it must have automatically been there, been on as default, because I didn't switch it on.
Yeah.
When I've switched it off, and since I've done that, I haven't had an intermittent signal. You know what I mean?
Right.
So maybe something
I know that. Now that you say that, I've noticed, because otherwise I get a warning, or I call it a notification. So that it's doing it. And also when I switch off from your streams, and that's only on your streams, it says, okay, recording stopped.
That's right, yeah, because now, I used to have
it's one of my settings.
Exactly. Well, when you guys leave, there's a little option inside that says recording, and if I click in it, it'll say void, incomplete. Give him the link if he wants to come back to get an individual recording. It still goes out. The full video still goes out with yous here, but it's for your individual recordings. Like people would edit it, so you'd speak, then I'd speak, and maybe put the video there. So it's for that, isn't it? But yeah, since I've turned that off, it's perfect. It's been all right. So all good.
Thanks.
I think Luke said something to you about. Did you read it?
No.
Let me see. Luke said, Vicky, Luke 23:43 is my YouTube name. It's a Bible verse that sums up faith in Christ as salvation. My name is Matthew. you can call me that. And what? And that's fine too. Yeah.
Because you said Matthew is when you've been told off.
I like Matty, but it's hard for me to get when I'm habitually calling someone something. It's hard for me to get out of it, and it shouldn't be too hard to call someone Matt or Matty, because my best friend, who I got done with manslaughter for, was called Matthew. Obviously, I got the manslaughter dropped in the end, but yeah, he was called Matthew. You know what I mean? So it shouldn't be too hard for me to call someone Matthew or Matt, but yeah, it's just because I was introduced to him as Luke, same as Flats. Sorry. It's like, if Boy told me his name was Engelbert, I would still call him Voy because that's how I was introduced to him.
Yeah, but Engelbert was a bit mouthful.
Of course. Well, even if his name was
Humperdinck.
Bob, Humperdinck, yeah, just
Yeah.
Bob.
No, it's Engelbert Humperdinck. Yeah, you guessed it, dude.
Oh, nice. You are nice, cool. Well, I'm glad you're not Liberace or something. Nobody's Liberace except Liberace. Anyway, let's do a Harry Marker, and then we'll do the other two songs. Thanks, guys, for bearing with me through that debacle since Saturday. Right, first one, Harry Mark, which it's called No Placebo. Let's do it.
Engelbert must be one of the worst names in English, right? Engelbert.
It's not nice, is it? It's not a nice name at all. Not a nice
I
name.
think it must mean something very sacred and holy, but it sounds so ridiculous.
It does. And like Vicky just said, and then having Humperdinck as a surname, I mean, come on.
Such a joke.
Humperdinck. It's like you're trying to make love to a bell. Engelbert loves to hump bells.
No, he's the dink.
He's just a dink.
Engelbert Humperdinck. Of course.
Yo.
No.
Anyway,
No way.
Ryan, did you just say Engelbert Humperdinck?
That's his real name.
Who?
I did so.
Because as soon as I played this video, I just heard Engelbert Humperdinck. I thought it was the video dude, and then I realized it was you. I was like, no, we were just talking about that. No, I don't think it's his real name. It can't be, surely.
Well, do you know Engelbert Humperdinck is the guy that wrote that song called
No, his name
what's it called?
Arnold George Dorsey. Right. Anyway, go on.
I don't know, playing.
Yeah, I'd love to. So I've
That's
actually
the guy from YouTube.
so I've actually got an original song, but I need a title for it, and I'm hoping that you can help me out.
Okay.
So if you can give me 3 random words, really creative words.
Placebo.
Placebo, nice.
Sunflower.
Hypothesis.
And hypothesis?
Yeah.
Great. I'm gonna think about those, and hopefully you guys dig it. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like a sushi roll. What I'm dropping is raw. Drop it like your jaw. When we start rocking, they in awe. There ain't nothing they can do. These 3 people catching wreck. This is real feels. This is no placebo effect. Let's kid it. I know my bars deep in your system. Every time I start spitting, all the people gon' listen. Yeah, compared to these rappers, I'm flowing off of their heads better. Shout to the homie in black tee. Shout to the homie in red sweater. Come off the top of the brain. Y'all know I'm loving the flames. Dude is insane. Hey, I last forever. My lyrics is about to remain. And I maintain, I am the greatest. Y'all know I be in my fields. These rappers, they like a placebo. Cause you know that they ain't even real. They be fake, what's it about to take? I be preaching on the mic like a rebel ring. No placebo effect, my freestyle's about to be the medicine. I'ma make it happen. Over MCs, y'all know I'm about to tower. Cause when I rhyme, I be growing tall. I be something like an ill sunflowers. Yeah, H-Mac ready for war. Y'all know I'ma rock the sound. Growing tall, kinda like a sunflower. Yeah, can't nobody chop me down. Yeah, Java rhyme, I'm getting it done. I help these other rappers flower, so incredible speed. I be spitting out bars like they sunflower seeds. Breaking up out of my shell. When I be rhyming, I'm doing too well. Lead them to slaughter. I am their father, they know that I'm hotter than hell. Making it happen, cause I always been dope. And I shine the sun through your window. H-Man, my lyrics that be truly crazy. Shining bright like the UV rays. Take them all to a whole nother place. All these rappers are laying the waste. When they come around, man, it's all about the timing. And these other MCs, they just can't keep pace. I'm doing me, yeah. There ain't no stopping this. Lyrics are bottomless. That's my hypothesis. Yeah, anytime I rhyme, I'm a triumph kid. That's my hypothesis, cause I be the freestyle scientist. Climb up the top of the dome and they know I'm delivering rap quotes. I'm the freestyle scientist. I should probably be up in the lab coat with the Bunsen burner, cause they know I deliver that flame. I be the scientist with the hypothesis when I just rhyme off the brain. Let's go. I'm that funky individual. My hypothesis by blending all these chemicals. One part piano, one part violin, one part rhyme. That's the perfect chemical equation when we all combine.
Yo, that was fire.
I was watching. Dude, that was ace, bro, man. That was brilliant. I like how he did that. That was ace, man. That was ace. I like that. Glad to grab that one. I didn't listen to it beforehand. I just grabbed it. and downloaded it. Nice. Right. Mr. Cheswick. And he's Neil deGrasse Tyson. Here we go.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, we know you're telling lies. Neil deGrasse Tyson, oh, who ate all the pies? We know that you're an actor and need to lose some weight. We're not falling for your bait. Neil deGrasse Tyson, we know you're full of shit. Oh, the grassy Tyson. Why don't you just admit NASA is a fraud and that you're talking out your ass? Everything you say is a farce. Neil deGrasse Tyson, we know that space is fake. Everybody laughs at you now that they're all awake.
Love it, Mr. Cheswick. He's live right now. He's live. So I'm actually just telling him I'm playing it. And he's live now. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Fun. I love it. There we go. Right, I'll do. I'm just letting them know. But yeah, I'll give you the link to it so you can give it an individual watch, an individual view, guys. That's what I was initially going to do, then I realized he was live. I just thought I'd just go tell them. Where is it? And he's just done another one 4 hours ago. I don't believe in NASA. And it's got who's the astronaut again? What's his blooming name? The moustache. Oh, dude, he's been on the harnesses and everything. Can't remember his name. He's very common in the NASA videos, in the ISS ones. Hold on. One. Sorry?
What does common mean?
Common?
Yeah, what does it mean?
You know what common means.
Is it kind of like sane? Nobody really knows?
Definitely not sane. No, not that type of common. No, Common as in regular. There we go. This is the link for that song we just played. If you want to give it an individual view. That was brilliant, wasn't it, Mr. Super? I love it. And like I say, he's got another one, so I'll download the other one for tomorrow. Actually, I'll get the link for it now, so I'm ready to download it. He only put up 4 hours ago. Maybe you should duet with that, Mr. Super, and do some harmonica to it. It'd be fun. It'd be fun, man. That'll be great. Love it. Love it. This is his other one as well that I'm going to do for tomorrow. If you want to give it a view, he did it 4 hours ago. That's the one with the I don't believe in NASA. Okay, nice one. So Mr. Super, huh? Mr. Super, do it. Mr. Super and Larissa, Careless Whisper. Nice one. Thank you, Mr. Super doing that. Brilliant, man. Didn't realize that one was short, but still nice, man. Brilliant, brilliant. I've played that one once before. I remember now. Excellent, love it. But there's a link for it, guys. I'll just put it in. Go and give it a. Oh, yeah, I'm doing a fresh mix with Anne today. Excellent, cool. I'll be downloading it as soon as you put it up there. Obviously, you premiere it first, and then I'll download it. So there you go. There you go. That's it. That's the link I just put in is for that song there from Super's channel. Go give it a view, an independent view, guys. Or ND's watching this on the replay. Go and watch it, guys. Give him a sub in that as well. That'd be the ace. That'd be ace. Right. Done. Thank you, Mr. Super, for letting me use your channel, your music. Mr. Chezik, he's on now live. Thank you, dude, for letting me use your stuff. Harry Mack as well. Not that he knows me, but nice. So, and thank you guys for being here. And we'll get the second part done tomorrow. We're halfway through, so we'll get it done tomorrow. Looking forward to it. You know what I mean? It's been interesting, definitely, but we'll get to the juicy part tomorrow. Excellent, guys. And thanks to the people in the panel. Thanks to Boy. And who was here earlier?
Ryan.
Well, Ryan's still here, but I was got to thank him last.
Thank you.
Vicky's here, obviously. But was there anybody else here?
I'm a figment of your
Was there anybody else here before Boy? No, I think it's just been us three.
I'm a figment of your imagination.
And Vicky, the Figment. Yeah. Thank you, Figment. Excellent. Oh, it's going up on YouTube and Spotify. Excellent. YouTube Music, Rumble, and Spotify. Excellent, bro. Excellent. And when it goes up on Rumble, I will put it in my Rumble side so people can link to it if they want. I had no one in chat today except 3 people. Well, not in chat. There's 3 people watching live. No one's been in chat in Rumble. But they do seem to watch replays because like yesterday's I got 70 odd views and I've only got 24 followers. So like, yeah, sometimes I get over 100. So sometimes I get the same amount of views I do on YouTube. So people might not come to it live a lot. They have done, but yeah, they're still viewing it. So it's worth doing still, I think. But it's been great. At least we got it done today. Duffy Grinch song. Yeah, I'll go get it for you, bro. I'll go get it. I shall go get it right now. Just give me a second to get my thing back up. And there you go, Bazza. There it is. There, the Duffy one. She looked like AI to you. Who looked like AI? Who did? What you mean? What, Larissa? Is that what you're on about? Are you talking about somebody else completely? Larissa's not AI. I don't know for sure, but I didn't think so. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks everybody. Bless yous. See you on Flatches tonight. Hasn't put a link out yet. Obviously, it'll be still at work, I suppose. But we'll get this second part done tomorrow. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. Bless yous. Either Sunset's free. It's free.
Indeed.
Indeedy, guys. Ta-da.